What is up, guys? Here we have a Belo Betty deck profile here, and he was the only one who made top, what is it, X2, I guess?
Yeah, X2, the only one that was X3 or better.
X3 or better, but you went X2 though.
I went X2.
So out of the X2, even X3?
Yeah.
Okay, so even X3, you were able to do it. So you must be doing something right with this list, I would say, with Belo Betty. And I see the matchup spread for this deck. It's crazy. It's actually, you're winning a lot against different decks. So you're like the diversity killer.
Yes.
So any deck that's diverse, you're destroying them left and right. So the hard matchup you have is against, traditionally, I think it's Dofi.
Yes.
And so you found a way to make it so it's not 30%.
Correct.
And you made it 40%.
Correct, yeah. I feel like there's two cards specifically that help a ton with it. One that everyone who's running Betty runs, and that's Lindbergh. It's the 4 cost.
Yeah.
It can tempo their characters enough. You can attack into Rested Jinbei while simultaneously killing whatever he played out, Boa or Weevil or
Anything with 6k.
Anything with 6k or under.
Okay.
And you do that with your power reducers, which you run in the deck because they reduce by 3,000 power.
Okay.
And so as long as they don't abuse law, and it's a 40-60 matchup.
40-60
so I was
matchup,
able to
okay.
get it to 40-60 with whatever value you put into the rank simulator. That's where I'm getting my data off of. I was able to get like top 10 several times, so like I'm consistently at the top of the rank sim playing against what are as good of opponents as I can.
Oh, so are you climbing ladder for OP Sim?
Yeah, I'm climbing ladder for OP Sim.
You're playing this deck only?
Playing only Belo Betty. I stopped playing before the most recent reset, and I was around 5 billion berry.
Wow.
I've been Pirate King before, like rank 1. It's
wow, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna put that in the title. Rank 1 player plays Belo Betty or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I have proof of it too. I can show you the picture.
Yeah.
The deck's fantastic, and with some additions and non-traditional aggressive methods where you're running a lot of 2 and 3 ofs instead of max 4 counts to find that consistency, it allows it to have that diverse positive matchup spread because you're able to find all the answers you need for each specific situation that you're in.
Did you get to number 1 in the OP Sim with Belo Betty?
Yes, with Belo Betty exclusively.
Wonderful. Okay. So yeah, this is gonna be the OP1 Sim. Deck profile for you guys. So you guys are in for a treat.
Yeah.
His name is what? Are you?
My name is Adam,
Okay.
and then on
Your
the sim I
username?
go by Barney Kong, BarnieKong.
Okay.
I got to pick my own name, and I picked Barney for some reason.
Barney, yeah, I mean, he's cool. I mean, I love you, you love me, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's check out your list and see what you got.
Sure thing. So start off, we've got
upside
Bellow
down.
Searcher. Oh yeah, for sure. We've got Bellow Searcher. It's the Searcher. I'm running a 50 Rev Army package, so you're going to find every card in the deck. The only card it cannot find is itself. So when you top search, you can only not pick 3. So if by some chance you do get all 3 of them, you can still pull a different card.
Okay.
Never whiffing. With leader ability, it goes up to 5,000 power, so it's an immediate swinger. That'll be a common theme throughout the deck. The minimum power that is run is 2,000 power. Because I don't have the Don commitment available, because I have to play things tempo and on curve. I cannot use my Don for swings, early in the game.
Yeah.
Next we have 1 cost Raise Max. I'm running 2 of them. It is the alternative to playing Betty on your 1-drop turn. This deck always goes second, except when in the mirror. Then it's the only time you go first. So you're going second. You're able to drop hopefully 2 bodies, Belo Betty and Raise Max, or double Betty if you have it. It allows you to add instant pressure, and then because it has an activate main that doesn't require you to rest it, you can use power manipulation to control board as well. So like you swing 5 with this, if they have a rested character, you bottom deck this, swing 5 with your leader to take care of their
unit.
Their character. Fantastic. Everyone knows what this card does because of RP Law. People may have like flashbacks from it. Fantastic card. Rev Army works great in the package. I'm running 3 of the Stage, which is the card that allows me to have such odd numbers for all my cards instead of running things at max. So I end up filtering a lot of cards, the best turn 1 play you can do is double Betty. However, the second best turn 1 play you can do is Belo Betty and then Rev Army HQ, because it allows you to filter your hand for the rest of the game and just find every piece you need to and have answers on every turn that you have that you need them for.
Okay.
Oftentimes, if you don't play it on turn 1, you're not able to play it until your 3rd turn, because there is a consistent and clear 4-Don play. But still, even then, it's worth keeping. I say that I'll keep a hand that has all 3 of these, just because on turn 1 I'll play 1 and pitch a stage. So I'm already down to 1 in hand, and then the next turn I know what I'm pitching.
Yeah.
So
that's great.
Yeah, it's super consistent.
So keep it in your hand.
Yeah, keep it in your hand. I don't mulligan for stage, but if I do have stage, it's an immediate keep.
And multiples you'll keep.
Multiples I'll keep. Yeah.
Got it. Good stuff.
Yeah. Then I have 3 of the 2-cost Kuma, which on play KOs a 2,000 power character or less, and it has a trigger of just play this card if your leader is multicolored, and comes up great. It ruins the Lucci matchup because their Rebecca is just gone.
Yeah.
I won one of my Lucci matchups yesterday because I triggered this off of life and I KO'd his Rebecca, and he did not have any other blockers or any more Don, and he could not get out of my lethal after I did that.
Yeah.
It also has 2,000 power. The thing with this deck is you always want to consistently play a turn 1 play. So even if there's nothing to KO, you're still dropping this.
You're still dropping it.
Yeah. But it does KO searchers very often. You know, someone will play a turn 1 searcher. Blackbeard, Bonnie, Lucci, a lot of them will play turn 1 searchers, and you can just get rid of it.
With Kuma, I noticed that they so against Lucci, you said that it's able to snipe Rebecca's. Are they just not going for the Sabo build anymore, where they're just like Sabo usually protects the Rebecca?
So a lot of decks are not running Sabo anymore.
Oh, I see.
The Lucci build just isn't including Sabo, and I think it's because cards like Borsellino aren't as much of a problem anymore.
I see.
Like, there aren't as many. There are more cards in the meta that deal with the Ben Beckman.
Yeah.
The Doflamingo has Jozu.
Yeah.
It's just not as high of value as it used to be in other sets where KOing was the main form of removal for everything.
Got it.
Like in the mirror, it helps, but in most other matchups, Sabo's not going to do a lot for Lucci because they're not as consistently using those KO abilities. And the meta really isn't Lucci right now.
Yeah.
It is Dofi, Shanks, Ploofy, and all of those have ways to remove things that are not KO.
Okay, so you're benefiting from that meta shift.
That meta shift, yeah.
Okay.
And like a deck like BY Luffy that does run Sabo, like this deck has such a positive matchup into BY Luffy anyway, since they so freely take their life, and I'm able to establish a wide board.
Yeah.
It's typically like I go second on their 5-Don turn. This is what happened yesterday. On their 5-Don turn, they played a Sabo.
Right.
So then on my 6-Don turn, I overwhelm them and bring them down to 0. They can leader ability if they want, but if they don't have the right cards in hand to like utilize their leader's ability, their next turn they're going to 9 and not 10. So they can't Moria and leader ability.
Right.
So they pitch their entire hand, and now they can't do anything.
Right.
Because they can play Moria and they have 2 kids, but they have no life.
Got it.
So just in those situations, like Sabo really only comes up in BY Luffy, and that's already such a favored matchup that it's not problematic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good introspection.
Yeah. 4 of your 8 2Ks are 2-cost Koala. She has 3,000 power. She has the same ability as Raise Max to minus 3,000 power, but hers is on play as opposed to activate main and bottom deck. Like I said with Kuma, you'd play it out on 2-Don. Not having a character on board it's like the worst thing you can do with this deck.
Right.
So
play him out.
Play him out. Yeah. Play him out as much as you can. It combos really well with Kuma because it then can hit a 5,000 power character instead of a 2,000 power character. It also combos really well with Lindbergh. This card and Lindbergh combined allowed me to steamroll my Bonnie matchup. Literally, I overheard the player walk away and say, "Wow, I literally don't know what just happened," because I was so consistent. I can describe for you a turn-by-turn what happened.
Yeah.
I'll do that when I get to Lindbergh.
Okay, let's do that. I don't even know what he does, to be honest with you.
Yeah, totally fine, totally fine.
Yeah.
You have 4 of the
Karasu.
3-cost Karasu. He is a blocker with a trigger with 5 or less combined life between you and your opponent.
Yeah,
you just play it. You don't have to discard a card or anything. Because you're so aggressive, I was able to trigger him out of life 3 times yesterday.
Nice.
Sometimes dead trigger and you're not able to get it out. If he's your first life, it happens often because you're freely taking life. If that happens, oh well. I very rarely use 3 Don to play this out. I'm almost always triggering it out or cheating it out. Because there are 3 different cards that will allow you to cheat this card out. And it is worth cheating out, but because it's such a low-statted card and it doesn't do anything the turn you do play it out, it's hard to justify using 3 Don to play it out, unless you're gonna die.
He's a rebel. He's a rebel army, so you can boost him to attack.
You can boost him. Yeah, you can boost him, but he's not doing anything the turn you play him.
Yeah, that's right.
So if you're committing 3 whole Don, there are other 3 Don. For example, here's a 3 Don character that can do something the turn you play him.
He's a rush guy.
He is rush if something else has 7,000 power. I did get to do this yesterday. You play both of them. You leader ability.
Yeah.
They both trigger each other. So they're both 7. So they would both be 7,000 power, and they allow both of them to have rush. I did learn this. This is a state-based rush. So say I swing. Say I swing with this. And they trigger, and they KO this. This no longer has rush. Yeah.
That's not good.
So the less than ideal comes up very, very rarely, but does happen. Just a very minor thing. 2 of Morley, which is another one of the 3 Don cards that you would play over Karasu because it doesn't have trigger and because it also doesn't do anything the turn that it's played out, but the turn after it's played out, it can ignore blockers.
Yeah, which is good.
Yeah, really handy. It becomes an 8k swing with leader ability, automatically activating when attacking. This is the card that if you trigger it off life against BY Luffy, it's an auto win.
Got it.
Yeah. 4 of the 4-cost Karasu, which actually usually is the champion of the deck. However, in my matchups yesterday, I think I maybe played it twice. So it's not required. You don't need it to high roll to win the game. It's so good that if you get it, it does. If you get 2 of them, you basically do win the game. But it's not required at all for the strategy, and you can if somehow I was running 4 different cards that were vanillas, and I didn't see this at all, I don't think my record would have changed from yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's great.
Fantastic.
Minusing 1K,
Minus 1K
to
leader and when attacking and on play.
Yeah.
Great. One of the cards that can cheat out Rev Army cards in this deck, 5,000 power or less, if it has 7,000 power. The only card you can't cheat out is Imperial Ivankov. Great, it can cheat out everything that I've listed out here so far, and there's always a reason to pitch something out or to play something out situationally. You're mostly going to play out Karasu, Morley, or the next card, which is Lindbergh. These are your main targets.
The guy you talk about. So call me a novice, but if you attach a Dawn, does that count as 7?
Yes.
Okay, I'm a novice.
Yeah. So the 7,000 power threshold can be met in any way, leader ability, Dawn, events that boost, characters that boost, anything. So the when attacking is it can KO 7,000 or 3,000 power characters or less. Again, coupled with your koalas and your raise maxes, you can KO a 6,000 power character. And here is how I steamrolled Bonnie. On their 5 Don, I played Imperial Ivankov and Lindbergh, so I have both of them on board. They go to 5 Don, they play Cavendish. So I play Koala, minus 3,000 power to Cavendish, swing, KO. I then use Ivankov to cheat out another Lindbergh. On their 7 Don turn, they play Carrot to freeze this Lindbergh. I then play a second Koala to use this Lindbergh to swing at their leader, but now their Carrot has only 3,000 power. So it's KO'd by Lindbergh. After that, it's their 9 Don turn, and they play Kid, and they attach 1 Don to it, and then they cheat out Rosinante, which I play Koala,
Again.
minus 3,000 power to it, and I swing 8 at Kid,
Yeah.
KOing Rosinante.
Yes.
So Rosinante dies, they have 1 life, I have a full board,
Right.
I win.
Yeah.
Like I said, the player walked away saying, I literally don't know what just happened. This deck can just shut down decks in
Right.
ways that like Sakazuki could. Just like your opponent's not playing the game anymore. That's incredibly high rolly, but it can happen.
Okay, yeah, because you need 3 koalas for that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But with Stage, you can find it.
Yes.
4
Consistency.
of the Kuma, it is a 2K with the same trigger as this Karasu, which is 5 or less life combined between you and your opponent. If you play it if you can.
Yeah.
You don't oftentimes play it because it's a 2K counter and
Yeah.
you need those in hand sometimes. But more often than not, if you can trigger it, you do trigger it.
Yeah, you're playing the rush strategy, so I think you're playing it.
Yeah, you're playing the rush strategy, but if you needed a 2K to not lose the game.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
3 5-cost Inazuma. This is the card that allows you to not get steamrolled by Lucci every single game.
Yeah.
You can cheat out bodies that are 4 cost, so he has to deal with a 5 and a 4 cost. And if you can chain these one after another, he has to deal with 9 cost, two characters with 9 total costs consistently, turn after turn. One of my Lucci games, I did get to drop 3 of these, and that is why I won.
Okay.
Stage is the reason that you're able to run this at not max counts and still consistently find it.
Okay.
We have 2 of the new 6-cost Koala, which is on play, take 1 of your life, then you can play out a 4-cost or less Rev Army card, and then if you do, draw 1 card. The if you do is if you take a life.
Okay.
Yeah, so you don't have to play out the card to get the draw. You take the life, you draw a card. So you can take the life.
Yeah.
If that is a 4-cost Rev Army card, that can be played out with her ability. The card you draw cannot be played out with her ability because the draw is at the end of it.
The end, yeah.
So best play is obviously cheating out of Vonkov because then you can cheat out a 3rd body on your 6 Dawn turn.
For 6 Dawn,
Yeah,
wow.
for 6 Dawn. And very often, if you are playing Koala and you do play this, you want to cheat out the Karasu just to kind of get that double blocker.
Yeah. She's a blocker. I didn't realize.
Yeah, she's a blocker.
Yes.
So great card for the deck. Absolutely wonderful card for the engine. Running 3 of the new 7-cost Sabo. This deck needed more card draw. The trigger is just draw 2 cards.
Yeah.
It also needed another way to not get starved because that is one of the Enel. The best strategy for Enel against this deck is to starve it because they can just, if they're running Gadatsu, they can Gadatsu most of your board. This allows you to pull a life and replace it. You don't have to replace it, and that's how it can prevent starve. So you can just pull your life and you're good.
Okay.
The trigger being draw 2 cards, absolutely nutty.
Drawing 2 cards.
Just draw 2 cards. And then 2-cost Dragon, the only thing in the deck that buffs your leader.
Yeah.
And it can be buffed by leader abilities. So very often, even if I have no board and they have no life, I can play Dragon. I can swing 9 with the lead. If I have another card to pitch, I can swing 12 with Dragon. If not, it's 9/9.
Yes.
Yeah. So boss monsters, answers, board control, board
Rush
flooding,
strategy.
rush strategy.
Yeah.
You don't mind going to 0 cards in hand. Kind of a crazy deck, honestly. You have to have confidence to play it because you're going to put yourselves intentionally in situations where it's going to feel like your opponent can win.
Right. But you see the light at the end of the tunnel, which is top deck a card, discard it, and then buff everybody, attack.
Yeah, one of my favorite things to do is I pick up the card and I'm like, it doesn't matter what this is because I'm immediately trashing it.
Nice. Okay, cool. Do you remember your matchups throughout the whole day? Besides just playing against Dofi?
So I had, in order, it was Bonnie. Actually, I have it written down if you don't mind.
Let's check it out. Yeah, no problem. So you played against Bonnie first round. And you won against that matchup?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I lost to Blackbeard in round 2, which is usually a favored matchup.
Yeah.
But they saw plenty of Vasco shots and they saw 5 KO events.
Oh, I see.
So that's just is what it is. And then I played 3 Lucci in a row. I won, lost, won those Luccis.
Okay.
And like I said, the Lucci loss was 4 KO events in life. Then I had a... let's see...
Did you play against P. Luffy at all?
Yeah, I played one P. Luffy, and that's a
Uh-huh.
free matchup.
Yeah.
I played 2 BY Luffys. I played 1 Reiju, actually, in round
Reiju.
8.
I haven't seen that in a while.
Yeah. It's actually my buddy, and he's a really good player, so
Yeah.
I wasn't surprised. Just had to do a little bit of friendly fire, which is unfortunate.
Happens.
Yeah. So, 2 BYs, Purple Luffy, Reiju, 3 Lucci, Bonnie, Blackbeard.
Blackbeard. Okay, and then unfortunately you weren't able to go to day 2, but
I bubbled out 43rd. I believe the lowest rated. I think 3 of my opponents dropped.
Yeah,
it's
it
just
happens,
unlucky.
Yeah, it really is. Really comes down to bracket luck sometimes, and also Swiss as
Yeah.
well. So yeah, we were talking about this. If Dofi, you say if Dofi gets ever like hit somehow, banned, you're saying that Belo Betty would be like tier 1.
Yeah,
automatically.
In my opinion, yeah. If Dofi's hit, the meta will shift and it'll be adjusted. But like, if Dofi was gone, Betty would be the #1 deck in the meta, and it would need to be
Interesting.
accounted for because its matchup spread in every deck that isn't Doflamingo is
Yeah.
positive.
Yes.
It's kind of what Doflamingo is right now to everything else.
Everything else, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's kind of like the rush leader, but you're also the rush as well.
Yeah.
But he's doing a little better than you. He's mid control,
I'm a little faster. He's a little more
mid-rangey.
Yeah, he can like recur. He has longevity.
Right.
Like his mid game can go
Longer
Yeah.
as opposed to yours.
Yeah.
Okay, well, yeah, I mean, this is coming from the #1, well, at one point, at the #1 seed in OPO Sim. Barney, what was the last?
Barney Kong.
Barney Kong, like King Kong.
Yes.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
Donkey
So
Kong.
if you guys play him on OP Sim, this is him in the flesh. So you guys know what face to attribute when you lose to Belo Betty in the future. All right, well, it's nice having you, and hopefully I'll see you more in the future, especially since you're doing really well on OP Sim.
Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate it. And
All right.
thanks for having me on.
All right, Barney Kong, see you later.
Bye.